How are you doing? It's Joe. I'm back at the whiteboard. Today, I'm going to answer a question that I get a lot, and that is, what is the difference between demographics and psychographics? So, if you have a product, a service, you have a target market. So let's say you have a sports car. You're an auto manufacturer. You have a sports car that appeals to men 25-54. So that's who? Men between the ages of 25-54. Now, of course, there's more demographics like income, etc., but we'll just keep it simple for now. Psychographics are a little bit more softer qualities. This is pretty easily to quantify. Psychographics are the things that determine why. This is who buys your product or service. Psychographics are why. So it's this man between the ages of 25-54. What are his attitudes, beliefs, the emotions, right? Aspirations. Aspirations is a big one. A lot of products are trying to appeal to your aspirations as a consumer. That's spelled right. It just doesn't look like it. So, for example, what would be something that you could ask to determine the psychographics of this target market, men 25-54, men between the ages of 25 and 54? Does he cheat at golf? Will he use his foot wedge? Foot wedge is kicking the ball out with your foot illegally, if he knew he wouldn't get caught. Or if he's playing a money game with his partner in the cart, would he try to get his partner to cover for him, perhaps even providing visual cover by putting the cart in between the foot wedge act and the opponents who might be on the other side of the fairway? Okay. Let's move on. Let's say he's in Vegas playing blackjack. Will he split? Not everybody will. Will he split when he has the opportunity? And depending on the house, because not all houses allow it, would he split after a split? So as you can see, we're getting more defined. More defined. Would he split after a split, after 7 or 8 Jack and Cokes, right? So that might affect his decision on whether he would split. Does he sing Katy Perry tunes real loud in the car by himself? You know, he's in the car, he's driving, doesn't know anybody, he's going down the road, and then all of a sudden he's like, fireworks! You know, would he do that? That tells us so much about the attitudes, beliefs, emotions, and aspirations of this. Can you see how we're learning more? We're getting more of a clearer picture of their personality. Was he a bandwagon Was he bandwagon Cubs fan? When the Cubs won the World Series in 2016, was he a bandwagon's Cub fan or diehard? Because if he was just a dirty bandwagon fan, I mean, who needs him? Because if you were a diehard Cubs fan that stuck with him through thick and thin, year after year after year, maybe your fandom of the Cubs was handed down generation after generation, waiting for the World Series win that took place in 2016, or were you just another dirty bandwagoner? Okay, that is something that will help you not only buy the right media, but create the right messaging to reach the target market. In this case, men 25-54. Maybe your product is different. Maybe your product appeals to women 18 to 24. Maybe your product is a financial newsletter that appeals to older adults, perhaps adults 35-64. But if you can ask the psychographic questions, now you're getting a much better idea of who you're really trying to appeal to. All right, last one. And these are just examples. You can come up with the questions you think will give more insight into who you're trying to reach. Turning left. Turning left, you're behind this person turning left, this male 25-54. Do they hang back? Do they hang back as if they never took a driver's ed course in their life, like they've never driven before? Even though they're of a certain age, do they act like they've never driven a car before and they don't know what to do, and they hang back rather than moving into the intersection, waiting for cars coming the other way to pass? Because if they don't move into the intersection, what happens? You don't move into the intersection. And therefore, they hang back, and then when the light turns yellow, then when the light turns yellow and the car's clear, they shoot forward. They shoot through the intersection in an aggressive manner, almost in a panic, right? Almost in a panic to get through. And what do? They leave you and at least one other car behind you stuck for another light. One other car behind you, and you, at a minimum, maybe even another car could have gotten through if this knucklehead hadn't hung back. Why are they hanging back? Get into the intersection. Anybody that's driven more than a month knows that, but they act like they've never driven a car before. Okay? So this is important information that will give you insight into their attitudes, beliefs, emotions, and aspirations. You could even say shortcomings. Because anybody that hangs back when they should be going into the intersection, you don't hang back, you move your car forward, you ease it forward, and then you wait for the traffic coming the other way to clear. Because if you hang back and then wait for the cars and then just shoot forward in a panic, not only are you endangering the lives of other cars that are starting to move forward the other way, but they didn't see you or just hanging back, but you also are inconveniencing the rest of us who, because of your ineptitude, have to wait for another gosh darn light. And let's be honest, some of these lights take forever. Folks, I hope that helps you out. That's demographics versus psychographics. Until next time, until the next whiteboard, I'll see you then.